Hello and welcome back. This is part 2 in our video series about composing our own melodies. One of the things that you'll notice about any melody is that the notes or pitches usually move around, whether it's from low to high or high to low and back again. And it makes it sound a lot more interesting than if the notes were just repeating at the same pitch over and over and over again. The more we move around, the more memorable the tune is. Although each melody moves around from high to low or low to high in very different ways. One of the ways that our notes move around in a melody is by step. You can see that when I put the notes here, they kind of look like a ladder. The notes come one after another. If I were to play that on my viola, it would sound like this. Does that sound very familiar? That's our D major scale. We'll use that as an example, even though it's not quite a melody. When notes are moving by step, you'll see that they go right to their next door neighbor, whether it's above or below. Another way that notes can move around is by skip. This is when notes move past their neighbor to the next note. I'm going to delete some of the notes in between so what we can hear a little bit about what it sounds like to move by skip. Here's the beginning of this. When I play that, my fingers are also skipping each other. For example, open two, right? That is an example of moving by skip. The last way that we can move around in our melodies is by a leap. That is when we hop over more than one note to get to the next one. I'm going to delete a few more notes so you can hear that. I'll play just the first three. So now I'm moving past several fingers to get to the next note. Let's go back to French folk song to see if we can figure out whether the notes are moving by step, skip, or leap. Let's listen to it one more time. All right. One of the things that you probably already know from French folk song is that a lot of the notes go one after another, just like your scale. That means they move by step. We can even see here the little staircases in the music. If you were to look at your sheet music, like in Essential Elements, for example, you'll see that the notes move line, space, or space, line. They don't skip. Here is another example of some of the little staircases that we see in the music. But there are a few leaps and skips. For example, here is a leap. We pass up these two notes to get from the D to the A, or orange to purple in this app. And here's an example of a skip, right? To get from the green to the orange, we're skipping over yellow. This is also F sharp to D if you're following along in the notes. Your first challenge is to see if you can make a melody that has all steps. Now, let's not get confused with the spaces here that are rests. Okay? This does not change how our pitch is moving from one note to the next. If I were to put these notes together, you could see that they still go down the ladder, right? Okay, so this melody is still moving by step. I'll go ahead and play this for you one more time. Okay, and if you were to go through, you'll see that no notes are missing. It's almost like going down and up a scale, even though we add some interesting rhythms. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and open up the link to the song maker. I'll put it down below again if you need it. And see if you can create a melody that uses all steps.